We fixing to make this town real smoky.
Back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Street Fighter 6 once more. Even though the teaser trailer dropped like a week ago, the discussions and hype for this game has not died down. Even still on YouTube, it's one of the top 10 hashtags currently. And let me just say, YouTube is very dynamic. YouTube changes all the time. Things come and go all the time. So for Street Fighter 6 to maintain that trending position, it just shows how important and influential the Street Fighter brand is. I know one thing that's been on a lot of players' mind. Well, one, of course, the logo. The logo is still being discussed and debated to this day and probably will go on until the game actually comes out. The other thing a lot of people are talking about is the art direction. Some people say it looks too realistic. Some people say they're copying Tekken and Mortal Kombat. Some people say they just want to go in a new direction and make the game look different, look new. The new generation, the next generation, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, they want to show people something that they've never seen before when it comes to Street Fighter. So I was on Twitter and I was just scrolling just to see what is actually out there. What are people saying? What topics are people talking about? And I came across something truly amazing. I am surprised more people isn't talking about this, and maybe this video can enlighten people to this topic. So this tweet is from Fighting Games Daily. They say Street Fighter 6 art style seemed to be taking a realistic approach, which looks quite similar to Street Fighter 5 prototype. Now this image that is linked with this tweet, I think this is possibly how Street Fighter 6 could look. This is like exactly what I envision in my mind, but of course just a little bit more higher quality. This one is just like a prototype, so you can tell that it's like kind of not really fully animated, but if they were to continue this route, I think the game would look fantastic. The reason why I think this is how Street Fighter 6 will look is because I think they were working on this, right? Street Fighter 5 prototype, they were working on it, but they couldn't quite get it done. They couldn't quite make the visuals the way they wanted, and they needed a little bit more time to work on it. So I think they were going for this realistic approach in Street Fighter 5, but they weren't able to do it in a timely manner, whether they had to put the game out or whatever. And that's probably why they went with the old anime sort of cartoonish style. But meanwhile, the whole time while Street Fighter 5 is releasing DLC and everyone's playing the game, they're still working on this prototype that they never ever got to fully flesh out. That is why I think in the trailer we got this more realistic approach. I think they're finally ready to push Street Fighter in this realistic direction. I want to talk about this news article that I seen that gives us a little bit more insight into this. It says, some interesting early concept images from the official Japanese Street Fighter 5 art book has surfaced online. Included are early character concept art plus prototype screenshots of what Street Fighter 5 direction. In fact, Capcom's, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, recently told GameSpark that an early build of Street Fighter 5 featured photorealistic graphics, further explained the design process behind Street Fighter 5's visuals. Scroll down for the full interview. Now, I will break down the whole entire discussion between the two, but before I do that, I do want to take a look at some of these images that is tied to the Street Fighter 5 prototype. The first one here is, of course, Ryu versus M Bison. Now, what I want to note in this image here, you have Ryu, which looks super realistic, and I would say he kind of looks more like he does in the trailer than he does in Street Fighter, which this image is a prototype of. Something else that is crazy to notice, you have M Bison. I do not know what this weird armor he has on. I don't know if that's a prototype build or if that's an actual outfit he has. No clue. If anyone knows what that outfit is, let me know, because that just adds more questions. In the top left and top right, you can see this new life bar that they were working on. Now, in my opinion, I don't like this. I like the art direction, I like the graphics, but this life bar, they have to do something different than that. It just feels weird. It feels like it's like a phone game or a phone app or something like that. The life bars is the only thing that I would change in this picture, but you can tell what they're going for, especially when you look at Ryu. The second image down here is a picture of Nash. You have 3 different versions of Nash. I don't know what the Japanese writing is saying next to him. The middle one, he kind of looks like Winter Soldier. The one all the way to the right, he kind of reminds me of Kenshi from Mortal Kombat. Next, you have Chung Lee, 3 different variations as well. You have her traditional outfit. You have sort of this school teacher outfit. I don't know if this actually made it in Street Fighter V. I definitely think I seen this one all the way on the right though. Next, you have a picture of Karen, A, B, and C. 3 different outfits once again. By far the most exciting image out of all of these, well, besides the first one that I showed, this one is a screenshot from, it looks like some kind of magazine or poster or something. I don't know, I wasn't able to find the full image, but you have Ryu here with bandages on his arms. You also have some sort of tattoo or fire marking on his right arm. Even though he didn't have any of that stuff in the Street Fighter 6 teaser trailer, you can definitely see a resemblance in how big he is. In this Ryu on the left, you can see how big his chest is, big his arms is, and I would say even though his hair is a little bit longer here, his hair kind of resembles what it did in the trailer as well. So I do think they're taking inspiration from this. My biggest theory about this prototype and the photorealistic graphics, that's the quote from Fighter Generation, I think they were trying to do this in Street Fighter V. I don't know if they just didn't have the budget or if they just didn't have the time, but I think at some point in time they put this photorealistic graphics on the back burners and they went back to doing what they've been doing for all the other games, sort of the anime cartoon vibes, the anime cartoon aesthetics. But I think they were secretly still working on this prototype and trying to perfect it, so once Street Fighter 6 comes around, they can do what they failed to do or maybe couldn't do in Street Fighter V. I think this photorealistic stuff is a good indicator of what they will do in Street Fighter 6. Reading the actual news article now. It says, when did Street Fighter V development first begin? The actual development first began in the summer of 2013, but the idea for Street Fighter V itself, however, was something we've been kicking around since 2011. At the time, we thought we should work on an Ultra Street Fighter 4 first, as it would allow us to foster a much stronger Street Fighter community that would lead into Street Fighter 5. GameSpark says, since there was an 8-year gap between the development of Street Fighter 4 and 5, were there any difficulties you faced in making the sequel? Well, we really worked hard on the game's visuals. Up until Street Fighter 3, the series had rendered in Dominatrix Pixel Sprite. But Street Fighter 4, the graphics were all done with 3D models, and so we had to go through many phases of trial and error in order to nail the same sort of visual impact that the series is known for. For Street Fighter 5, as this time around we were working with Unreal Engine 4, which is known for being practically good at rendering photorealistic visuals. I called it. In the video that I did a few days ago, I was saying they might be using Unreal Engine 4. And a lot of people were like, no, they're using the RE engine. RE engine is what they're using. But he's saying right here that they were messing around with the Unreal Engine 4. And I think Street Fighter 6 could be run on the Unreal Engine 4. We saw Tekken, they switched to Unreal Engine 4 for Tekken 7. Why wouldn't they do it if they see the level of characters and quality that Tekken is able to put out? It makes sense. Why would you go through all of this hassle to turn your engine into something it's not when Unreal Engine 4 is exactly what you need? I'm not going to get into the whole Unreal Engine 5. I just think it's interesting that this developer said it. He said Unreal Engine 4 by name. Let's continue. We had to work really hard to try and recreate the same anime-esque look for the game. So once again, we did a lot of experiments before finally settling on adding oil painting-esque touches. That sentence is very important. They're saying that they weren't able to fully nail the anime cartoon style they're known for, so what they settled for is adding paintbrushes, paint effects. And what did they do in the Street Fighter 6 trailer? When Luke and Ryu both cocked their fists back to punch, paint effects started happening. I think this news article right here is exactly what we're going to see in Street Fighter 6, because this isn't like a leak, this isn't like some rumor, this is a developer who's working on Street Fighter 3, 4, 5, and now 6. He's flat out saying what their thought process is. It goes on to say, in fact, in the very early stages of development, we actually put together a build of Street Fighter V that was rendered in photorealistic graphics. But when we did, we realized that it just wouldn't be Street Fighter without the bold anime-esque look and feel to the game. So we decided to shelve the whole photorealistic idea together. Notice, shelve, not get rid of it, not throw it all away. They decided to shelf. That means put it on hold. GameSpark as Street Fighter V with photorealistic visuals. I love to see that. Actually, you can. In the booklet that comes with Street Fighter V, if you order from the Capcom store, you can see a single screenshot of a photorealistic build we're running at the time. At this point in time, Ryu had just gotten back from training, and okay, let's get past all that. The idea to make a hot Ryu battle costume came from this photorealistic build of Street Fighter V. Hot Ryu. I like that that's in quotes because that's kind of what we get in the teaser trailer as well. A lot of people was talking about the fact that he has a beard. A lot of people were talking about his pants. I'm not really going to go into the detail, but I'll put a screenshot so you guys know what I'm talking about. But you can see exactly what this developer is talking about is exactly what's happening in the teaser trailer. It's very interesting. Another unique visual aspect in Street Fighter V is the fluid trials, visual effects. What is the process that leads to visual effects inclusion? In Street Fighter Cross Tekken, we had this water effect motif. In Street Fighter 4, it was ink. So when we began making Street Fighter V, we thought about what sort of motif could we replace it with. We tried various different effects such as powder, light, but everything we tried either made things too difficult to see or too plain. So we couldn't really find something at that point in time. At this point in time, we began examining why we even wanted to implement these visuals effects in the first place. And the result was that we realized we wanted to. For instance, have these rainbow effects appear in Rainbow Mika's case. We realized we wanted to bring out the character's individual image color and use it as a representation of each fighter's unique aura. This is another thing that they did in the trailer. I'm surprised that two things. I'm surprised I didn't talk about this, but I'm surprised other people haven't mentioned this as well. In the trailer, when Luke cocked his fist back, you see blue and orange. When Ryu cock his fist back, you see black, white, and I believe a little bit of red. So I think everyone's paint effect will match their color scheme. So let's say Blanca, maybe when he does whatever, a kick or something, you'll see green, orange, maybe brown. Chung Lee, you'll see blue, white, a little bit of yellow. That is what I'm getting from all of this. Reading this news article is connecting all of the dots. That led us to settle on the fluid trials visual effect. By way, since the effects are representations of the character's aura, even if you pick a different costume color, the fluid trials do not change colors. Was it decided from the very beginning that Street Fighter V would be developed using Unreal Engine 4? No. We were considering a number of different engines at the time, as Unreal Engine 4 was also still under development at the time, and their team was looking for help on extending the engine's possibility. We ended up forming a tag team with Epic Games to help out one another. Wow! That is crazy. So this last section here about the Unreal Engine, they're saying when they were working on Street Fighter 5, Unreal Engine wasn't complete. Unreal Engine wasn't fully fleshed out. So they're saying Capcom, they were helping Epic Games with Unreal Engine. So this here kind of confirms it for me. I will be surprised if Street Fighter 6 isn't running on at least Unreal Engine 4. I don't know about Unreal Engine 5. I will be surprised if the visual qualities doesn't look something similar to this image here. And I will also be surprised if the fluid trails, the paint effects isn't different for each character, doesn't match each character's color palette. Reading this was really interesting, and I think it gives a lot of us a pretty good understanding of what they have up their sleeve. I know this probably was a long video. I do appreciate everyone for watching, liking, and subscribing, but this gives us a pretty good look at what Street Fighter 6 will be. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and see you next time. Bye bye.